Welcome to episode 18 of Rock Talk with the Silver Fox. Today I'm going to be talking to a band that I've recently discovered and am really excited to talk to. I've got Lacey and Jason of Bourbon House. How you guys doing today?
We're good. How are you doing?
Always good. It's good being me. Like I said, I've recently discovered you guys. But when I went back and did a little bit of research, you guys aren't a new band. That's for sure.
Mm-mm.
So how long
we've been around?
We've been around for almost 4 years.
Yeah, 2017 was our first release.
Yeah. We started playing shows in 2018. So I guess you could say we're fairly new.
But not that new.
But we've done a lot of recording. We've done a tour, and we shot 5 or 6 music videos. We've been very busy. We felt like we had a lot of catching up to do to some of the bands that have been around longer, and they're a little more established. We wanted to catch up to them, so we've been very busy.
Yeah, I see that because, like I said, I kind of, I don't want to say discovered. I came across you guys. I'm good friends with the guys in the Almas, and they went on tour with you guys. You guys were on tour together, and I was talking to Frank, and Frank's going, "Gary, you got to check these guys out. You got to check these guys out." And I'm like, I'm always up for something good. And I listened to the videos, and I was like, wow, this is something I like. And then I went to the back bar to see you guys play there the last night of your tour. And that's where I finally got to meet you guys face to face.
Yeah.
But to say you guys are busy is an understatement.
Yeah. Yeah, we're always moving. I don't know, always trying to progress and do something different and new and just always something. I don't like sitting around and just waiting for things to happen. It's really not our style. So we book things like well in advance so that we're doing it,
Well, like I said, I had to do a little bit of research on you guys because I'd be lying to say I'd heard of you somewhere other than the Almas.
Right.
And I was like, how did I miss these guys? I mean, like you said, you have 4 or 5 really good videos with a lot of views.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of views.
Mm-hmm.
You have a Facebook page with over 12,000 likes.
Mm-hmm.
You're out on Spotify. You're doing all this stuff. And I'm like, how are these guys just flying underneath the radar like that?
Mm-hmm. Well, we didn't play a hell of a lot of shows as a full band. I think that's how we were flying under the local radar anyway, the local to Wisconsin. We didn't play a lot of shows in the 4 years that we've been an actual 4-piece band together. So I think that's why. I don't know.
I mean, when you look at numbers, like I said, I gave you the Facebook numbers, the YouTube numbers, your subscribers on YouTube. They're of a band that's been around for quite a while. And I was really impressed when first time I pulled it up, and God, what was the first song the first song I listened to was that 6,000 Miles,
Mm-hmm.
which kind of blew me away. I was like,
okay.
All right, this is nice. I mean, there's a lot of really the hard rock, like I like to call the growlers.
Mm-hmm.
And then the metal guys, and then you got the hard rock, And that's kind of where I always put the Left of Reasons and the Almas and Lines of Loyalty and places like that, Saint Tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I listened to you guys and I'm like, they're from Wisconsin? Because you got a serious soul sound.
Yeah.
It's definitely a rock song. It's definitely a rock sound. No doubt about that. But I mean, you're playing the finger slides on the guitar. And Lacey, frankly, your voice is, I always try to figure out what it's reminding me of, and I keep coming up with conglomerations of people. I mean, and it's nice. It's bluesy, you
Yeah.
know, but at the same time, it's hard.
Yeah, that's what inspires us, really. We're very into all of that, kind of the blues rock genre, but also hard rock, and yeah, kind of a mix of soul in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm happy you're getting that. That's what we're doing. So
That's what I got out of it. I mean, at first I was like, wow, that she's definitely got a Janis Joplin vibe to her. And then somebody else said something to me. I'm trying to remember who the other person was that, you know, they kind of said, oh yeah, she kind of has this going too. And I'm like, yeah, she does. And, you know, like, and then, like I said, when, you know, with the music behind you, it's definitely rock. There's no two ways about that. But at the same time, Jason, you're pulling out the finger slides and playing that kind of blues riff mixed with the rock riff. What made you guys want to go down that road?
I don't know. I think that's just what our influences are. I don't know how much of a deliberate effort there was to go down a certain path. I think we just wanted to write songs that we liked, stuff that we would listen to, you know, like if there was a band out there that I was excited about, I'd want to make music like that band is making, you know, I want to be that band that I would love to go and buy on the day that the album comes out. I know it's a totally different culture now. People just download singles and stream a song and move on to the next one. And, you know, the idea of buying an album doesn't really happen anymore. But we still kind of want to think that way. We want to think like it's the 70s. You know, we want to put together a good solid album, and yeah, we can release songs ahead of time and put out a single every few months and have half the album released before the album comes out. Because that's how it's done, and with the digital streaming and everything, it's just kind of how it needs to be. But yeah, we still, aside from that, you know, we try to think of ourselves as kind of a 70s band, I think.
Yeah,
That's fair.
Good stuff.
You know, so if it's
That's a fair statement.
Yeah.
If it's the 70s, we got to fit in with Skynyrd and Zeppelin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, they're still kicking our ass, but you know.
Yeah,
they
but
would be.
I mean, we think of those bands as
They're dead.
They're still doing better than most of the bands that are recording today.
That's a fact.
And yes.
That's a fact. I mean, I was just, I don't want to say I was surprised, but I'll say I was pleasantly surprised. Like, oh, it's something different. And I like different. I mean, after a while, you can listen to the same thing over and over and over and over. And you know, okay, I got it. Next. And I don't think you guys do that. I mean, you guys are something different. I mean, you fit in a lot of different places, which has to be nice.
Yeah, we've noticed that just from like radio stations and blogs and stuff that'll interview us or talk about us or put us on their playlists or whatever. We've noticed that it's very like, people will put us on like a blues rock kind of thing, and then we'll be on like a metal, like a totally metal page, which is crazy. Like, we're not metal at all, but it seems to like, there's a lot of like fan crossover. We're in a good spot, I think, for that.
One of the things that I noticed also, and I brought this up with well, let me think. I brought it up with Crystal and the singer from Solar. There seems to be a new surge of female singers out there right now, and good ones.
Yes, absolutely.
How are you feeling about getting out there and basically, honestly, the rock world's pretty much a male-dominated world. Have you found any problems with that, or you just said, move over, guys, I'm here?
Not too many problems. There's been like, like a random like YouTube comment or something where people are just like, I hate that she's a girl singing this. I wish there was a male or something like that. That's like we don't get that a lot. And I think people are making way for women in rock music right now, gladly. So that's,
Absolutely.
yeah. And I guess I don't feel like inferior in any way. If anything, it's like it's a plus to be a woman because you have something different already, right? So yeah.
You guys run into the problem that I've heard, God, probably 10, 15 years ago. I was just backstage talking to the lead singer of ADD. I'm trying to remember her name so bad. And she was upset because that her band kept putting on like all these female fronted shows.
Mm-hmm.
Like the show's all female fronted. Do you guys run into that a lot, or?
You run into that, but I'm not upset about it. I think that's great.
Okay.
I think it's a great thing. Yeah.
I think it was Jenny from Altrea. And, she was like, oh, I can hold my own with any of these guys,
Yeah.
let me go,
Right.
So the numbers, like I said before, like, we talked about, it's kind of a bluesy sound, but a rock sound. I mean, technically AC/DC is a blues band, right? You guys go about writing these songs, and as I watch the videos and I listen to the songs, they're not all the same. I mean, they come from different places. Where are you finding the places to write these from?
Well, we want to write songs that are different. Hopefully they don't all sound the same. We definitely don't want that. And we really just we try, like you said earlier, we just try to write a good song. That's kind of the only goal, is to write a good song. We want every song on the album to be single worthy. And some of them have like a lot of groove to them. Some of them are like, especially on this new album that we have coming out, definitely heavier. The inspiration, I don't know. It just comes from wanting to write a good song, I would say. Doesn't really matter what like genre, I guess, it falls into. If it rocks, it rocks. So
you guys recently just came off of, what was it, almost over a month tour? 30 days?
25 days.
25 days. How many shows in 25 days?
20. One didn't happen, so it was 19.
Yeah.
How was that? I mean, that was down through Texas and Florida and all that area. It was south.
It was fun. It was an adventure. Sure beats sitting around the house.
Yeah.
Way to take the easy answer there, Jason.
It was good.
With like I said, you brought up the Leonard Skinnards of the world and the kind of Southern rock type stuff. When you were down south, I'm guessing you guys had a really good reception down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Texas and Florida were really good crowds. Yeah, a lot of people into like the Southern rock kind of thing. So yeah, it's nice.
And how is it being on the road with the Almas? I know they can be a handful.
No, they're fun.
No, they're easy.
They're like, they're super easy.
Yeah.
And they were very helpful.
Yeah.
For us. So no, they're not. They're like the easiest people to get along with ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a lot of fun touring with them. We get along with all of them. We like them all. So
yeah.
I've known those guys for a minute or two, and they are very fun and they are very helpful, but you never quite know sometimes, like, what you're looking at them like, what did you just do? And
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you guys, you said you had a new album coming out. Do you have any idea when that's going to be released or
Should be in July.
in July? Do you have
Yeah.
a title yet?
We don't have a title for the album. We need help with that. We're trying to figure it out. We don't know what we want to call it yet. It hasn't struck us yet what we want to call it, but you name it right now. That's your job.
Named it. Name it right now.
Name it right now. That's it.
Done. Steal this
Yeah.
album. Do you guys, one of the conversations we've been having on here a lot is, and I hate to keep bashing Spotify because this ends up on Spotify, but basically today, you have to either sell your CDs or sell your t-shirts because we're not making any money off the internet. The internet was great for promotion. If it wasn't for the internet, I wouldn't have this show. I mean, I know there's a lot of good to it, but for the music industry, it also kind of kicked us in the nuts.
Mhm.
So we really have to depend on those merch sales, I think. Because when you go on tour, was it your first tour?
Yes.
Yeah, those first tours are hard because you kind of know pulling out of the driveway, we're pretty much losing money.
Right. We didn't lose money actually on this tour, which is really awesome. We were kind of expecting to lose more, but it definitely paid for itself. And we did sell a lot of merch, so we did come back with some money. But there's definitely things that I would do differently as far as merch goes, like getting like tour specific items. Too much of that is maybe not a good idea. We're like, well, hope we can sell these. The rest of these.
Oh, like all the dates and the cities listed or the venues.
Right. Yeah, we got a little bit too much of that. We also left like some of our stuff at home. We forgot it, so that was another thing. But it's fine. We're learning.
One of those things is somebody run by the house and UPS this to me quick.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. There is, you come home with a bunch of shirts from a tour, you've got 100 shirts, like, what am I going to do to sell these?
Right. Thankfully, we don't have that many that we need to sell, but we do have some.
Enough to know, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you've got the new album come up. You guys also, this is going to be your guys' first year on Rock to Stop 22.
We're excited about it. We've been hearing about it because we've known the Almas for so long. We've been hearing about it and that speech that Frank does. We've heard I can recite it. We've heard it so many times. But yeah, so we're excited about it. Thank you for having us on.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, we was throwing around different band names, and Frank threw you guys' name out there, and he goes, "Check these guys out." And I'm like, "All right, I check anybody out to see how, And I was like, "Yeah, they're a good fit." And it's a fun show. I mean, with us moving it to 2 nights now instead of 1, we're able to add a few more bands, add more stuff to the show. And those who don't know, August 13th and 14th, Sweet Mini Haha in Broadhead, Wisconsin, Rock to Stop 22. Yes, I'm giving it a plug. And we're going to have Bourbon House there. And you guys are playing Friday night. Yeah, Friday night, the same night as I think Lines of Loyalty's headlining that night. But I'm curious, what has Frank said about the show?
What has Frank said about the show? He just says that it's obviously he says it's a great cause. He just said that it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and it's one of his favorite gigs of the year. So yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I remember telling him, myself and the CEO of Rock to Stop told him the radio story.
Yeah.
3
was
years
he
ago.
Right away? He's like, "Oh no, I'm writing a song about this."
Well, it started with they weren't going to play Anti Everything because it was it was a very new single at the time.
Mhm.
And it had a line in there that said, it has a line in there that says, fuck you and your American dream.
Mhm.
There's a lot of vets involved in Rock to Stop USA, not Rock to Stop 22. I mean, it's to stop veteran suicide. And myself and two other veterans were standing there and we're like, dude, don't tell me I wasted 5 years of my life for you to not exercise your rights. And
Right.
then when we told him that story with the radio station basically saying, you know, that's political, Frank just jumped all over that night right there. And it's kind of carried the fight on. And
Yes.
we're appreciative.
Yeah. He's done a
And
lot to bring awareness for sure to the event. So yeah.
you guys have some other big shows coming up, or what do you got coming up?
We don't have big shows coming up right now. Right now we are going to be releasing a single. It's coming out on April 23rd off of our upcoming album. So we're working on that. And then we also have a music video to shoot and release, and then the full album. So we have a lot of like interviews and stuff like that to kind of deal with over the next couple of months, but then we'll get back to shows and stuff.
Are you guys signed by anybody right now, or are you guys all DIY in it?
DIY?
Do it yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, we're independent.
Okay, that's a better word than DIY. I like
Yes,
that better.
it is.
So you guys are basically, is it the two of you handling most of all the booking and everything else?
Yeah, well, right, we besides like local shows, like, you know, for you, how you asked us to play the show, and we did that. We're with Blind Anxiety Entertainment with the Almas, which is how we got the tour together, for booking, which is really nice. We didn't have that before, you know. Last year even we were booking ourselves for everything, so that's nice. A little break from that. But you know, social media, writing, recording, everything that we do is me and him.
And is there more members in the band, or are we filling people in, or what are we doing now?
We're filling people in right now.
You're on the lookout for people.
And you never know. You never know if somebody becomes more committed. Like, that's different. But right now we're filling people in. We're very hands-on with everything, and it's kind of our baby. And you know.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, if you started it, you know the way you want it to go.
Yeah, and we're very like, the train keeps on moving, you know. So we can't have like anything holding us back.
Well, like I said, I managed the band Left of Reason, and we lost a guitar player about, oh God, it had to be about 2, 3, 4 years ago now. And I know that we tried out probably 20 guitar players.
Wow.
And decided we're going to be a three-piece, you know.
Sometimes you got to do it.
Well, I mean, what it comes down to is, like you were saying, you need somebody with the right drive, with the right attitude. Like, this train is going to keep moving.
Yes.
And like, I know we wanted professional equipment, professionals, you know, be able to play, obviously, professional gear, availability, and frankly, you got to get along, you know.
Yeah.
Chemistry.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of requirements to meet.
It is.
And it's not easy to find someone who has all of those things. It's easy to find people who have one or two of those things. But, you know,
to have all of them,
to have someone that you get along with, and they have the same musical vision, and they have the availability to play shows and take off work whenever they want to. Most people put their job first, you know, their day job first, and they're not very available to do a tour or, you know, play out of town. So yeah, it's a lot of requirements to meet.
Yeah,
especially if you're going to go out on a, like you guys just did, you know, 25
sure. I
days.
wouldn't want like some weirdo that I don't get along with. in the car with me for that long.
That'd be miserable.
Yeah,
That could be miserable with people you like.
it's true. Very true.
Um, and I can tell you from going on longer tours and stuff, I'd feel bad for you, Lacey, because you put 3 or 4 or 5 guys inside a van for 25 days.
Eating
I'm
nothing but fast food? Thanks.
I'm a dude. I don't think it smells good.
Yeah, that's what Febreze is for.
Yeah, there's just not enough Febreze.
No, it's true.
Um, your social media, who's controlling all that? Is that you guys too?
Yep.
Yep.
We share the responsibility of that. We both work on it.
Mhm.
You guys are doing something right. I mean, like I said, that one of your YouTube videos is in the thousands. I want to say like
Yeah,
in the
one of them's almost at 6,000 miles. It keeps climbing. And we're getting subscribers from it too. Several a day. So yeah, it's almost at 100,000 right now, which is more than, I think our highest one before that was at like 12,000 for Devil on My Heels. So yeah, it just keeps going. Every day we look at it, we're like, damn, there it goes. It's up again. That's good.
And what are your subscribers at yet?
We're at 600 and something, but like earlier this year, we were at 250, I think. Is that where we started, when it started to actually like climb up? We've gotten several hundred like in the past few months. So yeah.
The reason I'm asking about YouTube, obviously, the manager side of me is coming out of all the social media out there, all the different platforms of music. There's very few of them that we can monetize, and YouTube's one of them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We
Only
all-
after 1,000 subscribers though,
Yeah, get
can you
1,000.
monetize it.
1,000?
Yeah, you need 1,000 before you can start monetizing.
Right. Well, you're at 600, and if you climb from 250 to 600,
Yeah. Yeah. by
it's
the
nice
end of the
because
year-
I mean, I'm sure you're always impressed with your Spotify checks. I mean,
Yeah, well, every time we release something, Spotify is always has like a really nice spike, and we have like people who linger every time at least, so that keeps going up too.
like I said, I bang on Spotify, but all of them, Amazon, all of those, giving us pennies on the dollar, fractions of a penny
Hmm.
for a stream. It's, a long time when MTV came out, they played, video killed the radio star. Well, internet killed the rock star. And
Yeah, right.
I'm really trying to figure out, is there ever going to be another band, and if I don't care if you like them or you don't like them, another band as big as a Metallica or a Nirvana or somebody like that,
Hmm.
because of the internet.
Yeah.
I doubt it. Everything's spread out really thin now. Before the internet, you were either a signed band that was famous or on your way to getting there, or you're a nobody. Now everybody's
lot
on
of
the spectrum.
in-betweeners.
Everybody's like on some level of famous
Mhm.
because they're all on Spotify. They've all made a video. They've all dropped singles. They've all, recorded an EP at least.
And there's a lot of talent too. Like there's a ton of talent. Yeah, so it's all very spread out. Everybody has like several favorite bands, not like this is my band, this is the one I follow everywhere, which is like how people were with Nirvana and whatever. Everybody's like, I'm the biggest Nirvana fan, and now it's just like I'm a fan of all of these bands that sound like this.
Yeah. People used to be a big fan of like maybe 10 bands, right? And then there'd be another 10 or 20 bands that you liked, but you didn't love them as much as the first 10.
Mhm.
Now everybody has 700 bands that they kind of like.
Mhm. Yeah.
That is, well, if you actually listen to my Spotify list, I would say about half of it is independent people.
Nice.
I mean,
That's good.
Mhm.
I mean, yes, I meet a lot of people in the industry. I've been to thousands of shows. so I get a chance to hear like, oh, I really like these guys, you
Mhm.
know, and so I'll put them on my Spotify list, you know, and like 2 days later, I'll be listening. I'm like, oh, who was that? And then I click back, oh, I just saw them the other night, you know, and um, yeah, I mean, the internet's good for a lot of things and it's bad for a lot of things. I
Yeah.
mean,
Exactly. You just kind of have to like not be pissed about it and figure out how it works for you, you know. That's what we're doing. We're making it work for us. So
Yeah, it's a whole different culture. I mean, you need to understand that it's not the 70s or 80s or 90s anymore. You
right.
can't just play as many shows as you possibly can and expect it to materialize into some sort of fame or anything, because it may not ever amount to anything. Most of the work you need to do is online.
At least that's what we're doing. But
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad way to look at it or a bad way to see it because, I mean, you're facing the truth head on.
right.
Um, yeah, I mean, like you were talking in the 70s, 80s, 90s, bands would release an album and then they would go on tour to support that album.
Mhm.
Now you release a CD for a reason to tour.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It the other way around. It just goes to show like how many bands are actually signed anymore by the big labels, we'll say.
Hmm.
You know, the Atlantic Records or whoever.
Right. Well, bands don't need them anymore.
The bands that
as
have been
much.
around since the 90s still have record labels, you know,
Mhm.
Godsmack and Papa Roach and Korn. Those bands, of course, they're still on the major labels because they've spent, you know, 20 to 30 years building a following. But all of the younger bands, they're either doing it themselves or they're on a
Or they're on
small
small labels.
label.
There's a lot of small labels that are like starting to take off though, because they can be helpful
Mhm.
in a way that bigger labels can't anymore.
Yes, and I think a lot of the smaller labels, though, you really got to pick through them. I mean, there's a lot of people that want to say, "Hey, I've signed Bourbon House."
Yep.
Right. And then do absolutely nothing.
And then do nothing because they have no resources, no connections.
We're aware of these people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they want you to pay them a fee.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
That kind of said that. I guess that's where I'm getting back to the big record companies aren't doing it that is the way they used to because you can find any song you want on the internet.
Hmm.
You know, if I want to listen to 6,000 Miles, I don't technically have to buy your CD.
Right.
Mhm.
I can go to
Definitely
YouTube. I
not.
can go to Spotify, and it's there.
Yeah.
That for somebody my age, that kind of sucks. But like you said, you have to just roll with it
Yeah.
and understand that's what it is. And um, I'm way older than you guys, so if I say people your age, it's not me making fun of you. But I like this generation that just basically says, yeah, that's the way it is. And like I know the unsung heroes, if you ever listen to them, um, those kids are so tech savvy, it's ridiculous. And they know how to use the internet. They know how to use the different platforms. And they understand it all. And it helps them. And obviously you guys know what you're doing with it. And maybe you could
Yeah.
teach some of us old fucks how to do it right.
Right. A
See,
lot
there's
of
your
trial
improv.
and
I told you I
error.
couldn't make it. I'm sorry I didn't hear that.
Sorry, I just said it was a lot of trial and error, but I feel like we kind of have stuff kind of figured out. Spotify is still it's pretty hard to figure out. I think you need to throw a bunch of money at them. I don't know, maybe. I don't know.
I didn't even figure out how to do that.
How do you throw money? No, that's true because you like they have people watching or like bots and stuff like that too. So I don't know.
Well, a lot of industry people I've talked to said with Spotify, what you want to do is you want to get on the big playlists.
How? Yeah, Spotify's
Everybody
gotta put
knows
you.
that.
Yeah,
Everybody
Spotify's
knows
put you
that.
on there, but how you get on there? You can pitch a song when you're releasing it to the Spotify editors, which we did and we've done for every other song, and they can
They'll give
they
you
can
the,
make or break you essentially. They just be like, oh, we can put this on this playlist, or they just don't do
yeah,
anything, which is
what they do 99.9%. I mean, they're gonna give you the finger and move on to the next
Yeah.
independent artist that sent them some track, you know.
But
yeah,
it's not unheard of though that people do get placed on a Spotify playlist.
it does happen. A lot of these bands haven't done anything more than record an EP, and they sent their tracks to the curators before it was released. And for whatever reason, a curator liked one of those songs and put it on a playlist, and that one song's going to get them a bunch of spins for a while until it gets removed from the playlist.
Yeah.
So they're going to look famous for a little while. We see that all the time. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean the band's going anywhere, but you know, sometimes
They can monetize that. I mean, if you get to a certain amount of streams, it gives you a comfortable living, you know. So
On Spotify?
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah, it's in the millions.
definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
But if
you
you're on a
got
big
to have
playlist-
millions. of
But if you're
streams.
on
If you're on those big playlists that have millions of followers, you're going to get millions of spins.
yeah.
That's how it happens. The only way it can happen.
Yeah, my next question is, who's controlling those playlists?
Curators, people who work for
People who work-
Spotify,
Yeah.
Who work for Spotify? Okay.
they're just doing a great job.
Yeah.
Their job is to choose songs and put them on these playlists. And there's dozens and dozens.
Well, what do
maybe
you
hundreds
think
of
if you were like friends with somebody who you found out was like worked for Spotify, you'd be able to be like, dude, what do I have to pay you to make this happen? I don't know. And I'm not saying that happens. but
Better
I'm just
yet,
saying.
what if you were given the job of putting bands on playlists? Wouldn't you put bands on the playlists that you've met or you know
People
or
are
you
friends
like
there?
or you're friends with them or whatever, even if it's not the greatest song ever recorded? I mean, there's a lot of
Number
bands
one, I'd love the
all
job
over.
because I'd love to sit around and do nothing, get paid to listen to music and put together great playlists.
Yeah.
I would love that. The only thing that I'd be pissed at is when I have room for 100 songs and I've got 200 I like and I've listened to 800 I hate. And, you know, I've wasted that 800 songs, but, you know, damn it, I got to tell these. It's kind of like when I put Rock to Stop together and I've got X amount of slots and I had to turn down 11 bands, you know, and I know they're good.
Mhm.
They just didn't fit the slot I needed them or the night or whatever. And it makes me feel bad. But go back to what you were saying, Jason, hire me for that job. I'll do it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of, I'm sure, favoritism and nepotism that goes into which
There's
songs are
politics and everything.
chosen to go on to
Yeah.
which playlist. You can go on to a rock playlist and find tons of stuff that's not even rock, you know, or blues rock or whatever your playlist is that you want to look at. Half the stuff doesn't even apply to the playlist. You gotta wonder how it got on.
Yeah, that kind of goes with Sirius Radio too. I've seen that.
Yeah,
Like, oh, I
Yeah.
thought I put this on a heavy metal station, and I'm sorry, April Wine is not heavy metal, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's interesting. I want that job all of a sudden. Now you got me thinking.
me too.
Apply for it and then
Yeah, I got a matter of fact, I'm gonna have to look that up and just say, hey, I got this little podcast I do, and I talk to bands, and I know really good music. This year, you guys, like I said, it's your first year at Rock to Stop, and I think this is the first year we're putting together a compilation CD.
Mhm.
I'm kind of excited about that. Are you guys submitting the song to that, or
Yes.
Yeah.
Dan's handling that? I'm sorry, I'm not handling that part.
Okay, no worries.
It's not. No, it's not like I like. She's like, yes, I am. You didn't see it? No,
Yeah, no, I didn't do it yet, but I am. Yes.
because I'm excited to see that. That'll be fun.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, we were talking about female singers, and I think we got 11 bands this year. I think I counted the other day. We got 5 or 6 are female-fronted bands. Like,
Wow.
I was like, what the hell did I just do? You know? But
What happened to me?
oh no! Don't take that the wrong way. Because quite frankly, people look at me and laugh where I tell them point blank, I am a feminist. I have a wife that I'll be married to 27 years in October. I have 2 daughters. I have granddaughters. I have sisters. And I understand what a woman can do. And you know, I think it sucks when they don't get a fair shot. That's why I asked you how you felt walking around a predominantly male-dominated industry. You know, musicians, sound people, stage hands, light guys. You know, they can be pretty crude.
For sure.
And I personally don't like it. When I see that happen, I mean, just let them be a performer, you know. So we're not doing anything right now. Do we have anything on the calendar at all other than the releases, or you looking to book for the summer, or just gonna kind of kick back and take a break?
We have a couple of things booked in the summer. Just a couple of kind of more local shows. But yeah, for now, at least the next couple of months, it's like kind of break time to really focus on this stuff. But yeah, the summer should get a little busier for us for shows.
And where are you guys out of again? I know Wisconsin, so
we're in Wausau.
Wausau, because I know I'm working on a couple shows up in that area, and I'm trying to figure some stuff out. So, yeah, definitely know where that is. Like I know we're going to be up. Wausau's northeast of us, I believe.
Ask him. I don't know.
I'm down in Janesville, so I'm dead center in the middle of the bottom of the state. So
we're right in the middle of the state.
Yeah. Okay. Anywhere near Beaver Dam, or?
No, it's still kind of in the southern part of the state. We're right in the middle.
Up more.
We're like an hour north.
I'm sorry?
Hour and a half north.
Of Janesville?
Of Beaver Dam.
Oh, Beaver Dam. Okay.
We're like 2 hours north of Janesville.
Okay. That's not far.
No.
What other things? I mean, obviously you have these huge followings on Facebook. Have you guys done anything special with your fans, or you keep email lists of them, or what are you trying to do with them, or?
Yeah, we have an email list. We do give people like special like listening parties. They can like hear the song before it comes out, or watch parties. Or they can watch the music video before it comes out. We've done some giveaways and stuff. You know, like merchandise giveaways. We did a private chat giveaway thing. Yeah, I don't know. We try to
afraid of that.
All right, it's a little scary. Yeah, I don't know. We try to communicate back to people who are talking to us. So if we have any fans who are actually like commenting on any of our things on any of our social media sites, we're trying to respond to them too. So we like to stay connected. We know a lot of our fans on like a first name basis. We've become like Facebook friends with them. Actually, when we were on tour, we had a fan of ours made us. He is down in Knoxville, and he made us sweaters that had like he got like a Bourbon House thing on it, and he brought us sweaters. Like, hey, thank you, they're really nice. And another fan brought me a coffin locket necklace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're just become friends with people, and they give you things.
Give you things.
They give you presents.
Well, I noticed like you guys are like right after your show. When I saw you guys, you know, you're right at the merch table. You are shaking hands, and well, I guess whatever version of shaking hands we are right now.
Rubbing elbows, yeah.
Yeah, whatever they got going. Because you know, let's face it, 2020 just kind of sucked for live music.
Yes, I was pleasantly surprised to see the people in Janesville that were there. That was really nice.
I knew that. I mean, well, you were playing with Revolution X and the Almas too, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, because Revolution X is from Janesville,
Right.
and they're going to be a good. They're always a good draw there.
Hmm.
And the Almas, they're home too, and
Right.
I think that where you guys were in that lineup was perfect.
Yeah.
Oh,
For sure.
pretty much put you right in the middle of two pretty heavy hitters at the back bar.
Right.
And you guys were able to hold it. Because a lot of times when I see that happen is, like Revolution X comes out and they're a heavy band.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then somebody comes out behind them and that they don't know. And like I said, I'm from here and I'm not making, I feel bad that I never heard of you before your tour, but I like I said, the business side of me was looking around the room going, no, they're holding the room. People didn't decide to go take their break before the Almas during your set.
Mhm.
They didn't do that. And that kind of showed me once again that what you're doing is different and is really good. It's really good. And I would tell people, go to their YouTube channel, check out their videos. The music is great. If you're not looking to just to have the same old rock thing, but something different, but still rock. And there's so many different labels we can put on it, but it's still rock.
Yeah.
And
well, thank you.
And I would tell people, check out their YouTube. What else are you guys on? Facebook, YouTube, Spotify,
Twitter, Instagram, Apple Music, Pandora, iHeartRadio. I don't know where else is there music.
Definitely check out the Twitter
Literally
and
everywhere.
check out the Twitter and the Instagram though. Those are just as important, if probably more important than Facebook, which
Facebook is hard. It gets harder and harder with the algorithms for Facebook.
Yeah,
they like to hide things.
They don't let anybody see your posts unless you pay for it now. Even though you paid to get followers, maybe by purchasing ads, but now you got to purchase more ads so your followers can see your posts. So
yeah,
Instagram and Twitter is a lot more fair to the artists.
Absolutely.
Definitely check us out there.
I've been hearing a lot of people talk about pushing the Instagram thing, and I'm like, damn it, you guys are gonna make me learn another platform.
I know it sucks, but Instagram's actually pretty easy.
Well, Instagram means though you guys are in the band, so it's easy for you guys to like say something. People don't really. Dr. Reason fans don't want to hear from me.
Right.
They don't. I'm that guy who comes walking in with them and takes care of money at the end of the night, and so I got to get my guys like, hey, you need to go on this and try to get them to do it.
Yeah, you gotta get photos, and so I'm sure you have a million photos already, so you have all the content you need. You just have to write a little blurb about something. Just it's taco. I literally sometimes it is a happy Taco Tuesday. Like, go eat some tacos.
Yeah, you're making that sound way too easy. There has to be something.
Just talk about tacos. People will love you.
Well, the crowd on Instagram is totally different from the crowd on Facebook. So it's like, they don't really overlap very much. There's most of the Instagram people who find you and follow you don't even use Facebook, and they're not.
Same thing with Twitter. People who are on Twitter are not on Facebook. So like all of these numbers that we have are like, not a lot of them are crossover people. So it's like this many people over here, this many people over here, this many people over here. And it's very important to do all of them.
Because I know my wife discovered Twitter this past January. She I don't want to go into politics or anything, but she couldn't, she was addicted.
Oh, Twitter is if you want to find political shit, Twitter is definitely an easy place to find it. Yeah.
She was like, can you believe this person? And can you believe this person? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And
Yeah.
she's like, I'm like, oh no, what have I
Yeah.
done?
Oh,
I've
no.
created a Twitter monster.
Mhm.
Is there anything you want to put out there to the people that might see this about Bourbon House?
What would you like to say about this?
Check out our stuff. We are always trying to come up with new things to release. That's kind of what motivates us. We have a whole schedule of release things. We release a single, we release a video, then there's an album, and then there's the recording of the next album, which is already scheduled, but we haven't written the songs.
Mhm.
You know, we look ahead years into the future and figure out where we want to be, and then we figure out what we have to do between now and then to get what we want. So there's always things happening.
Yeah,
There's, you know, there's always news.
there's always news. And yeah, our new single coming out April 23rd,
What's the name?
Dead in the Water.
Dead in the Water?
We did play it live, so you heard it live.
I did.
You
That's
did.
got my, that's that I did actually. I kind of looked up when you said that because I remember you saying this is going to be our next single, and I
Yeah,
didn't know the title of it.
that's it.
But
Mhm.
other than that, I don't know how much more I need to cover. I really want to thank you guys, number one, for being on this show. Guys, it's going to be on Spotify on Rock Talk with a Silver Fox, and then it'll be on my YouTube channel, once again, Rock Talk with a Silver Fox. Please go over there and subscribe to that and hit that subscribe button. While you're there, go over to Bourbon House, hit a subscribe button over there, give them likes, check it out.
Thank you.
I mean, frankly, anybody who's watched my show, I have not put on a shitty band yet. I just haven't.
Yeah. Haven't done it.
I mean, I guess if I have to skip a week, which I haven't had to do it, I will until I can get it right. Also, I want to thank you guys for being on that the Rock to Stop 22 show.
Yeah, thank you for having us. We're excited about it.
It's a show that sits very near and dear to my heart. It is my favorite show I put together every year. And this year is going to be a blast. It's going to be 2 days. I mean, are you guys camping for the weekend or?
Yeah, I love camping. He doesn't as much, but he's gonna love it. Yeah.
It's fun, Jason, believe me. Matter of fact, I'm sitting at the campground right now because I work out here, and instead of going home, I'm gonna stay in my campground thing.
It'll be good. It's in August though.
Oh yeah.
Which is always nicer for bugs and stuff.
Yeah,
It's
they
less
get big
buggy.
then.
Yeah.
They get big then. We also have they also have tubing on the Sugar River that I know on Sunday a lot of the bands do.
Nice.
If you've never been tubing, it's a blast.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's fun.
3-4 hour ride down the Sugar River. But other than that, like I said, I want to thank you guys for being on the show. I'm gonna let you guys go, and I'm gonna tell all my other people that are watching this to rock on and check out Bourbon House.